Yeah, we appreciate y'all giving us a little time to go over a couple maintenance updates from your maintenance partners here. My name is Miguel Tovar. I'm a deputy maintenance superintendent. I've been with CDOT for, thank you there. I've been with CDOT for 17 years, most of them in Region 4. I did a couple years up in Region 1, and then I was a deputy superintendent over with DMO headquarters for 2 years. But good experience, but I'm happy to be home. I'll let these guys introduce themselves.
And I'm David Mezzanares, Deputy Superintendent as well. I've been here 17 years.
I'm Brad Myers. I'm the Maintenance Project Manager for maintenance. I've been here for about 10 years. I've been in this role about 2 years now.
So we're going to go over a few things that we felt are kind of related and tie into with our engineering partners and kind of relevant. So the first thing we're going to get started with is on the maintenance side, we started doing our own concrete repairs. We put together a team of volunteers with Tom's blessing to go out and start doing slab replacements on our own. We're running into, especially in the summer months, we're running into a lot of slabs, buckling, failing, particularly I-25 North and 287. So a few of us have concrete background. Started talking with Tom. We put together an idea to get a crew together of some maintenance folks. We have purchased some tools like a power screed, finishing tools, some hammers, all this stuff that we need to be able to do our concrete slab replacement on our own. We started up on North 287 as of right now, but we have plans to go everywhere in the region where we're needed. So far, like we've done 2 there on 287 north of LaPorte by Ted's place. These are some pictures of our crew doing some of that work. It went pretty well. We're using a 12-hour mix, so it's setting up pretty quick. But the guys did a great job, and every slab we get a little bit better. So far, we're coming in at about I think less than 50% of the cost of if we were contracting that out. So that's the big draw with this, is that we're having a lot of savings with this, and so we're pretty excited about being able to do that. Do you have anything?
So one of the things that the biggest benefit of this concrete initiative is a stronger workforce, really, is what we've been focusing on as well. We're essentially investing in 2 of our biggest assets, our people and our roads. Our supervisors are training and creating a buy-in with their employees. We're taking them out, driving them around, looking at the roads, identifying what slabs need to be jacked out, maybe even lighter maintenance with diamond grinding or grout. So we're taking the time with our employees, and we're taking them through the process, and we're showing them that what our expectations are, and then basically we're creating buy-in from them. So with the average cost about $6,000 a slab through an M project, our budget, we're trying to find new initiative ways to save money. So we've saved roughly, like you said, 50%. But really, our people, showing them, having them ask them questions on which ones they want, giving them pride in their road, that's what's really been helping us.
Yeah, and that cost will actually even go down, because this was the initial push where we had to buy the tools and all the stuff that we needed to get us geared up, all the lumber and all that kind of stuff. So as we do it more and more, get more efficient, we should be able to crank out more slabs in a day. And so that's kind of the plan. Right now like I said, we have some on 287. We're going to do some sleeper slabs here on 257 by our headquarters that really need it. We're in the process of getting, our bridge crew is testing the sleeper slab and the steel underneath it to make sure that we don't need to do any work on that. And if we get the go-ahead, then that's going to be our next project there by headquarters. So after that, we'll probably jump on I-76 and I-70 from there. I-25 North probably too. We're kind of on a little bit of a pause right now because we with the cold weather, we're not wanting to worry about blankets and all that stuff. So once temperatures start warming up a little bit, we'll probably go a little bit more full tilt on that. Another area where this actually is kind of what got the ball rolling for us is the curbs. That we have the section of curbing in LaSalle. So all these curb heads and islands are floating. They were never anchored down to the concrete through town there. So we were dealing with issues of traffic hitting them, or plow trucks, even our own plow trucks, getting a little close when they're pulling that snow, and they would pull them out into traffic and scramble to get them pushed back in and all that. So the guys started doing some research. Originally, we were going to do a contractor to go out there and repair these, and they came in at a bid of 150 to 200,000 to do that curb work. We were like, like some of us have a little concrete background, like me and Tom and a couple of the other guys, and they're like, no way, that's too much. We can do this ourselves. So Tom, like I said, Tom gave us the blessing to go and buy some tools, and the guys went out there and started fixing these on their own. This was actually David's era before he promoted, so he had a lot to do with getting the ball rolling on it. But so far they have done 1,000 feet of curb head. They're going in there and pulling out the old stuff, pinning down with rebar, so now they'll actually be anchored to the ground and running rebar all the way across the curb head and pouring them back. And so far, like I said, we've done about 1,000 feet in a week and a half, and we're looking to go back there this spring again, also pick that up. And so far, I believe with all the concrete itself, our labor, all the tools that we've bought, we're only about 30,000, 33,000 in compared to what we were going to be paying. So we're pretty happy with that.
So really, for this initiative, community and investing in our employees is kind of what we've focused on. So listening to our customers in the community, and then making investments in our employees has really been the main benefit to moving forward for our future efforts. So by taking action, we're showing that our community and its needs. So we're creating a relationship, especially with LaSalle. It's really built us up with the town leaders and the community, and then we're gaining trust with that community as well. But investing in our employees is the thing that's going to last the longest for us. So some of the feedback we've gotten back from our team is that they really feel empowered. For the most part, they're very skilled workers, and they get maintenance down pretty good. But once they go outside of that realm of regular maintenance and they get something like this, they feel really empowered. We're investing tools into the project, and then we're taking the time to show them how to do the finishing and everything else with the concrete. And so really they've come back, and it's kind of spread the word, and a lot of the people are excited about it, and they've learned a new skill, and we've invested in them. And then a little bit of recognition that we've done for the employees. Anytime a maintenance worker gets recognition, it's really means a lot to them. So.
And so kind of where this is all going and tying in with y'all, and it's kind of more in the realm of Brad. So we're working on some tools that Brad has been developing on our maintenance side in his tech position. And I'll let him kind of dive into it, but the one that kind of ties into this more right now is he's developing a layer for your planning tool where we will be inputting all our locations where we've gone in and torn out slabs and replaced with asphalt, as that's considered a temporary repair. We're going to go out there and do as many as we can, obviously, but if it's something that y'all can consider when you're planning your projects, if we have any slabs in your project limits or close by that can be added, we would greatly appreciate that. So I'll let Brad kind of maybe go into more of his tool set here.
Yes, so like he was just saying, so for the concrete slab replacement, so I will identify, once I get the layer created for the Region 4 planning tool, whether it's a temporary repair or a permanent repair, so it'll be quick, nitty-gritty, easy peasy for you, and kind of bring it full circle and kind of tie us all together. I've really learned a lot from Callie Wiegren and Paul Usek. They've really helped me a lot in developing my GIS skill sets. So currently right now, like right up here, this is the FY 25 and 26 projected project list for maintenance, which kind of helps tie the engineering and maintenance together, right? We can cross-verify. So as you know, on the Region 4 planning tool, we can turn on multiple layers, so it makes it easy for maintenance as well as engineer to cross-check and ensure that we're not working in a floodplain zone, which was kind of a problem for us this year accidentally. So we can help mitigate some of that risk. And, so there's, Val, you want to go to the next slide? So I've really been pushing maintenance to try and utilize these tools. The cost estimate sheet for projects and stuff, one of the steps that's getting added is to cross-check with the floodplain layer so that we can make sure that doesn't happen. And then kind of go through that whole complete process and kind of, just refining things. So we're doing quite a bit in that respect. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of other layers in there in maintenance. Everything is under the maintenance tab here on that Region 4 planning tool. I will plan on creating more layers in the future, try and kind of bring this full circle and kind of put us all on one page. As my vision as the maintenance project manager is to bring maintenance up more to the engineering standard of operating and doing things across the board with everything. So we're working on some pretty exciting stuff here coming in the future. So I'm quite excited about it.
And like Brad said, this all kind of came about. We had a little issue with one of our bridge decks being involved in a floodplain and not being caught basically on time. So that's where this came about, where Brad went in and started adding the layers so that way, our hydraulics unit or whoever else is in there can catch, get more eyes on this and hopefully catch this stuff ahead of time. And, we're more proactive on the front end and get our clearances and permits or whatever else is needed. So from there, it's just been kind of built upon where, like Brad said, our 5-year plan has been added all onto this, so you all can see what is in our scope of the next 5 years of what we're planning, what roads we're planning to hit at what time, and you guys can, that way we're not, doing an overlay, and then 2 years later there's a planned project and we just basically wasted, $150,000, $200,000. So just trying to be more proactive on that sense. And like Brad said, as we evolve with it, we'll add more layers, more stuff that might be useful to all of you, and keep it growing. So, yeah, I think that's all we have as far as these updates. Appreciate you all giving us any time and to talk to y'all. And as always, please keep including our maintenance crews in your scoping meetings, your FORs, FIRs, all that kind of stuff. I know that they have a lot of input. I know there's been many times where we've caught stuff that engineering wasn't aware was an issue, and we were able to address stuff pretty, on the planning stages, which was super beneficial. I remember working with Chris Baseflug, and we caught some stuff on I-25, some culverts and stuff that they didn't know were there, and were able to be addressed. So, like I said, it's always appreciated when we get invited to all that stuff and have some input. So I'll see you. And that's all for me. David, do you have anything?
Just wanted to thank you for the opportunity to come here and then really just kind of thank you for the one-offs whenever you guys see a maintenance worker, and any way you can recognize them. They really, really appreciate it. They work really hard, so thank you.
And if you all have any questions for us at all, or any...
No, thank you guys. Appreciate it. I mean, I think you hit on it. If making sure you're invited to scopings, FIRs, FORs. I mean, from the program perspective, from my perspective, I think that's the absolute bare minimum. Outside of that, what's the best way for a design team or a construction team to engage with your staff?
Well, I think we'll be able to catch a lot of it with this, where, you'll see our planning, our stuff coming up, and, maybe reach out like, hey, we have a project coming. Because I know I've talked to you about some areas, right, and communication that they bring up to us. If we see a problem area, we'll contact you. But, I mean, I think the easiest probably is when something's coming up for you, contact us or the LTC ops of the area. We'll make sure all the correct people get involved, invited. We'll get you a list of names or whatnot. And because our ops are pretty engaged with all that kind of stuff. They want as many projects as you guys can give them. So I think that's probably the quickest, the easiest way.
I think that relationship, I was just talking to, I can't pay attention what his name is. Anyway, Alan Wood, sorry. Alan Wood, and that relationship that we built in the field, actually on the job, is, I think, really beneficial. Get that TM3 involved in the TM2. They know the community, they know the roads, they know the problem areas, and sometimes too they know the safety aspect of that section of road. So if you get them in there, that's my opinion the best.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So how late into the fall do you work on those slab repairs?
Honestly, with the slabs, we can go a little bit later because with using that quick setting mix, I think these last ones we did were in December. Yeah, I think in December. So we are pretty much okay to probably do them even in the winter, except we really started winding up the plow operations. So once we got more into the snow plowing mode, it's harder to plan that stuff. But we were even I was talking with Jesse last week, and he thought this upcoming week we had it looked like the weather was going to be nice, but we got some other stuff. But yeah, I mean, we basically, with the slabs, we can do them pretty much year-round with that mix that we're using because we don't have to worry about covering it, right? So the curb heads, though, in LaSalle, we're using more of the standard concrete mix, so that would need to be covered, and that's the one that we're more waiting for spring.
Do you run into any other problems with like saw cutting or anything like that once the temperatures get cold?
No. I mean, we didn't so far. The guys went out and saw cut it ahead of the project, and a couple days before, and then set up another lane closure for the tear out. Like I said, we're starting slow. We're only doing about 2 slabs a day. So once they get a little routine going, maybe pick it up. But we're also pretty careful because that fast setting concrete, man, if you're not on there right away, it'll burn you. So
Great, thanks.
thank you.
Since you invited us to express some gratitude, I just wanted to say thank you for when you guys attend the meetings for FIR and even before that. It's from a hydraulic standpoint, it's really helpful. Sometimes there's some spots where I didn't think there was a problem, and you guys pointed out to us that there's pipes that have serious leaks, and we need to get on that. And then the opposite sometimes happens. I have some calcs where I think there might be a problem, but then I get feedback from the maintenance team that tells us that actually things have been going pretty smoothly in that area. And I want to encourage you guys to keep going to those meetings and speak up.
Oh, thank you. And we definitely encourage our guys to attend, and even if we can't attend ourselves, there's usually somebody from us representing maintenance, hopefully.
I just have a quick question. How closely did you, when you're doing your concrete mix, did you work with our materials group? Were you guys in conjunction with them?
Yeah, actually, the mix designs that we are using are the same ones that were approved for our M projects, so it's all approved through materials.
Good job.
Hey, Miguel. Question in terms of protocol can we request your help? If I have a problem area, I've got some curb and gutter, hypothetically, in a very problem project, and it's not part of the project, but maybe somebody like, just say, in Estes Park or something is complaining about it. What is the protocol to try to, or to get you guys involved? Who do I talk to?
I would say the deputy and the ops of the area will talk with Tom and get approvals, but I know that we've done a lot of work with Gina and her team, and Jesse and her work really closely, and they've done a lot of, she's helped them out through the project, and we've done some stuff that, help each other about. As far as the concrete, yeah, and as long as you're not asking us to pour, 1,000 feet of,
No,
okay.
I'm just wondering, I know you guys are kind of just starting off here, just kind of wondering, because I assume years down the road, there's probably going to be a more formal process and everything, but I'm just, in the interim, just trying to.
Yeah, if you have an area of need and it makes more sense for us to do it, cost-wise, give us a shout and we'll see what we can work out for sure.
Awesome, thanks.
So I want a quick show of hands, and I'm going to ask you to hold your hand up there. So how many of you guys know that we have a Region 4 planning tool? Hands up. Okay. With your other hand, how many of you are using it? Okay. I don't know if those are all consultants over there, but I mean, there's a theme here from project management, right? Keith and Elena covered it. Rich talked about it in performance design, performance-based design. We're really talking about that upfront scoping, those upfront conversations and communication to really define your problem. Maintenance has to be part of that. They have to be part of it. We've also talked about being, you know, as I've always said, we were data rich and information poor. No longer are those days. Every single day, these tools are getting better and better. And the fact that maintenance is tying in their work, maybe some of you think, well, this should have, it was like an aha moment. Maybe we should have done it 10 years ago, but I don't know if the technology was there. But we are catching up, and we are catching up rapidly. So please, if you're not already using it, and I don't think it's a public-facing tool yet, is our R4 planning? It is on the GIS webpage. So consultants, you can use it too. So resident engineers, you should be in there all the time looking at your roads. Project engineers, you should know your road. There's a lot of data right at your fingertips, that you can already start as you are kind of pre-scoping jobs. But I can't emphasize enough how important maintenance is. They help us solve, I mean, they are Johnny on the spot, but they will help us solve any problem, anytime. They did some really fantastic work on I-25. Yes, we've spent over $1 billion on the I-25 corridor, yet we still didn't have money to pave a frontage road that we committed to our local partners. So what did we do? We cut that budget in half, maybe 3/4, and our maintenance team went out and we transferred state-only dollars. Because the one thing that maybe you don't all know, there are no federal dollars in the work that they do. So when we are talking about swapping money around, it has to be state-only funds. But we gave them state-only dollars to go do a really nice overlay project on one of our frontage roads that we are basically devolving to a local. And that did all, I mean, it was a win across the board. It was a win for your maintenance crews, right? It was a morale builder. It didn't come out of their MLOS budget. We came out of our project budget, and it cost us about 3/4 less to do it out of, even in $1 billion, we're still pinching pennies to bring those projects in on time. So you guys just do a fantastic job, but if you guys aren't reaching out to your maintenance folks and building that relationship, I want you to start tomorrow, or now, on a break. These guys are great.
Thank you, Heather.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you all.